What about health care? I was at or in the hospital 4 times in a single year. I had an appendectomy, a polypectomy, I smashed up my wrist, and then I had a heart attack. Or as Billy Joel would say, a heart attack. We all complain about healthcare. Healthcare is much better than it used to be, let's tell the truth. In the old days, you could get an appointment, which wasn't actually an appointment. You'd go in there, you'd sit in a big room with the old magazines, people coughing, reading highlights for children over and over and over. You were running a fever, you couldn't remember who was Goofus and who was Gallon. You finally make your way up to the front of the room. All the receptionists were nasty old ladies. I've been here so long. Is it my turn? Well, you should have brought a book to read. Should have brought a book to write. As you finally come out, Mr. Wright, doctor will see if you will. I can finally get out of this big room with all the old magazines. Well, actually, we're going to put you in a little room with no magazines now. Doctors were omnipotent. They were omniscient. When the doctor shows up, it was like the Pope. There was a puff of smoke, a flash of white, there he was. And you didn't ask him any questions. Now today, doctors know that you're all on WebMD, you're checking on them. But in those days, they were very offended if you asked them anything. What's wrong with me? You're sick. And they'd make something up. I know I'm sick. What do I have? Well, you got fubba-da-bubba-da. You got fubba-da-bubba-da, you got glickada-bickada, you got hippa-da-bada. I got fubba-da-bubba-da, glickada-bickada, hippa-da-bada. Is that bad? Well, it's not good. We're living on the edge now. That's why the new thing in healthcare is malpractice. Now, I did some research, and the fact of the matter is, this is true. The vast majority of malpractice claims are levied against a very tiny minority of doctors. These are like serial screw-ups. If we could only get them out of the business. Wow. You left a scalpel in some guy's liver. Again. Here's the problem. Doctors don't like to testify against each other. You go into a guy, doctor, can you give me a second opinion? I had a little blister on my finger, and I went to a doctor, and he gave me some ointment, and my arm fell off. Is that normal? Oh yeah, nothing unusual about that. Yeah, we had a couple of arms fall off. Week before last, we had a head. How about mental health? I have been in therapy a long time. I don't have a problem admitting that. I have what they call a personality disorder. I thought I had a great personality. And I have a depression thing. I got depressed when I heard that I had a personality disorder. And I was going before it was fashionable. And the shrinks in those days really had to hustle. I remember one guy said, I think I can help you. Can you come 3 times a week? 3 times a week? You think I'm that bad off? He said, no, I'm trying to buy a house. So go to therapy if you need it. The only problem is the other people in the waiting room. You're waiting to be called. Mr. Wright, you're next. I'm okay. Why don't you take that guy over there with the one with the dynamite strapped to his chest? Therapy ended badly for me. I went to a psychiatrist. I said, you know what? I've been in healthcare, doctors, dentists, druggists. I'm rattled. I feel like I've got multiple personality syndrome. I think I've got 3 or 4 different people living inside me. He said, well, let me ask you this. Did one of them bring a checkbook? So, I was at the hospital, and I had an epiphany. I was in bed, I was watching television, I was watching the news, it was probably Fox, Mark Sapelsa. And they had a news story on prostitution. And it hit me at that moment that the dialogue for being admitted to the hospital and the dialogue for hiring a hooker involves the exact same questions. Which start with, well, how much money do you have? And ends with, all right, get into bed, take your pants off, tell me if this starts to hurt.